at the University of Minnesota. This year I have the distinct honor to present the Distinguished Alumni Award to Jim Stump, class of 1962. Jim, will you come up here, please? Before I read this amazing man's bio, I also want, there is a group here, including family and friends, and in fact, 2 young men from Stanford that were mentored by this man, Ryan Buskirk and Chris Meinecker. If you all would stand so we could recognize all of you, family, friends, all of you stand up, please. Part of the great heritage of Kings and of Jim Stump. Jim Stump was raised in Alaska as the second of 7 children of missionary parents. He graduated from Kings in 1962, where he played 3 sports, was class president twice, and student body president his senior year. It's a busy schedule. He then graduated from Wheaton College, where he played 4 sports, was a class officer and student body officer. Upon graduation, he joined the staff of Athletes in Action, a newly formed division of Campus Crusade for Christ, and served 2 years as their European director. It was then that Jim realized the greatest impact he could have for spreading the teachings and principles of Jesus was to invest his life into the lives of athletes who have a natural platform from which they can speak. In the fall of 1970, Jim was assigned to the Stanford University campus, where he served for 45 years. After 4 years as the campus director, Jim left AIA and founded Sports Challenge to follow his passion and focus of one-on-one mentoring and counseling of student athletes. Over those years, he consistently met with 30 to 35 athletes for an hour each week, one-on-one, on an ongoing basis, helping them to find a personal relationship with Jesus and mentoring them spiritually through life at Stanford. Jim is in his 6th decade of sports ministry and recently moved to Dallas, Texas area to be near his 9 grandchildren. This new chapter of ministry will focus on mentoring the next generation of sports ministers. Jim is the published author of The Power of One-on-One, Discovering the Joy and Satisfaction of Mentoring Others. He's been married to Linda for 39 years. They have 3 children who are walking out their faith in Jesus. Will you give a warm welcome to the Alumni of the Year, Jim Stump.
Ironic, is it not, that God would grace this body with the last name of Stump? Well, thank you so much, everyone involved in the leadership here at Kings. Thank you for continuing to strive for excellence in the amazing education and athletic programs that you offer to the students at Kings. And I follow you, believe me, I do. And thank you for staying true to your mission and message. And thanks for this huge honor. What a great honor. What I've heard, they narrowed the candidates to 3, and I got the short straw. So short things just seem to come my way. But only in this great country could a lad who grew up in a log cabin in the outback of Alaska with his own dog team and his own trap line, get a great education at Kings and then at Wheaton, and then spend 45 years at a place like Stanford, mentoring the athletes and seeing hundreds of them come to faith in Jesus Christ, and many of them grow into leaders, not only in the kingdom work, but in the secular university as well. Well, I grew up in the village of Pile Bay, Alaska, where my parents were missionaries. Since we were 250 miles from the nearest town, store, or doctor, I was homeschooled for the first 2 years of my life. And then through 7th grade, I was educated in a 1-room log cabin schoolhouse with 13 kids in the first 8 grades. Incidentally, I was the valedictorian of my class of 3. When I was 12, my father was stricken with tuberculosis, causing us to leave Alaska. And at the age of 13, I came straight from a village of 67 people to King's High School. Having 3 brothers and 3 sisters, there were Stumps here from 1958 to 1970. And we all loved King's, and we tried to give back as much, if not more, than we received. My older brother Dave, who is here tonight, was senior class president. As has been mentioned, I was class president a couple of times, the student body president. I played football and baseball, even played basketball one year, believe it or not. We weren't state champions, though. In addition, I sang in the King's High Quartet that some people called 3 quarts and a half pint. But with all this great background, I never made my faith my own until the summer that I graduated from Wheaton and joined the Campus Crusade for Christ, which is now known as CRU, joined their staff. So don't make the same mistake, and I'm talking to you students now, that I made of not finding someone I could trust to sit down with and ask those tough questions. I thought that if I asked those questions and it got back, I would make my folks look bad. And I loved and respected my dad and mom so much, and I couldn't take a chance on doing that. I figured college was where you were supposed to get your questions answered anyway. So I encourage you, find a mentor. And I'd also encourage you to get hold of my book, The Power of One-on-One. And I think most of you will relate to what I have to say there, and I pray that it'll be a great encouragement to you as well. When I think of teachers who made a great impact on me, Coach Dwight Nyquist was that person. He's here tonight, all these years later. What a man. He got me to apply to